Hey, 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 if we can say that. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Once again, King David coming to you right here, right now, down in Atlanta. Yes, and we're in southern Atlanta, a place they call Riverdale. And we're about to spit the cosmic knowledge and the healing advice and frequency for today. Then, so earlier, I don't like when my phone actually goes out when something comes up on the screen. But anyhow, it's gonna happen. I'm continuing to talk. But today is casual Monday for I and I, but we're coming to you with this cosmic knowledge to help because our main purpose on this earth should be to heal self, to have the experience to heal self and to help others to heal because we are down here and living on a planet that is actually bombarded with so many negativities to keep you in a hurt position, to keep you in a grieving position, to keep you in, or when I say position, it's frequency, for we're talking about energies. And so we have to go through this process of learning, experiencing, making adjustment to be the best person that we can be. And the best person that we can be is one of higher frequency, a love frequency, one that is healed, one that will be able to forgive and to forget, one that will be able to enjoy the life here on earth and encourage other people to enjoy their life here. So also here on this earth. And so today, I think yesterday I did a video. We started out that what do you call it now? The fruits and vegetable fasting, and I have started it. See, today I'm eating apples. Yeah. Now I'm not saying that all apples are good and good for you, but at least it's part of the fruit and vegetable process. And that is part of your healing process too, because you have to heal your health. A lot of us are into addictive foods that actually make us very, very sick, give us chronic diseases, put our body into what we call now more acidic state, where a whole bunch of mucus is formed. So we are going to involve and discuss all about that which the cosmic knowledge is downloaded today, or has downloaded so far, and activated inside of this memory, so I can give it back to you. Then, so let's eat our very own apple, and I guess we can have a discussion on each apple while we're doing it. So healing. Many of us the world over have so long been bombarded with the news, with ideas, even in religion. They teach us to be fearful, to grieve, to do all kind of stuff that is not helping us to build and live on our higher frequency. When you're living in your higher frequency, you'll be a free soul that can enjoy that which is here. So joy is at the top of your line. Happiness, love, peace. Peace is a very beautiful thing. But in order to achieve all of these things, sometimes you have to rigorously put your body and your mind through the processes that you have to eliminate a whole bunch of stuff that they bombard you with. When I say they, I'm talking about ever since we were youth, for we are going through an experience. And my videos mainly are for Jamaican, because I'm trying to help Jamaicans to come out of this. So you might see a combination or hear a combination of patois, but it is for the world over, but primarily first for the Jamaicans, where who I'm attached to. Because we down here in Jamaica need a whole bunch of healing. We might be great and energetic and doing all kind of stuff, but we do need a whole bunch of healing, because when we as Jamaicans are healed, it's like people exemplify our lifestyle. It's like we're leaders of this world. We're a whole bunch of African nations and other people just listen to us. So I'm talking about the healing. So we have been bombarded since youth by information that actually keep us regulated. I'm going to use that word. So if we're regulated, that means we are under control, we are under hypnotism, and there's so much to what we are able to do, and that is known as limitation. So once you're under limitations, my sisters and brother, But as usual, if you listen to some of my previous videos, you see that I like to give reverence and respect to the divine feminine empress first, because that's what we all are. We are embodying that divine feminine empress. Even though we have, like for male, we have a what they call a penis, a phallus, something that comes out. At the same time, we are still coming out of this female entity, so we have to give first reverence and respect and recognition to the female divine feminine empress. Yeah. So going back to healing, and I'm not going to stray. I'm going to try not to stray from the subject, because healing consists of a whole bunch of areas where you have to heal your mental. You have to mentally heal yourself. You have to heal yourself from pain and hurt and depression and that kind of stuff. You have to heal yourself from your very own addictions. A lot of people have addictions and they think it's normal. Normal addiction. For example, a lot of people who constantly, they have 200 pair of shoes already and how many pieces of clothing in their closet, and yet they're suffering financially, to pay that. They're living in lack, but at the same time, every week we continue to go out there and buy stuff to satisfy our crave, our addiction, our need, our greed, our wants. And it's not necessary. That's for me. So I'm saying, if you are exposing yourself or doing activities that is going to put you in lack, why is it that you can't make a decision to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to put some money aside, because since money is that important and it is necessary to pay your bills and do all kind of stuff, then try to minimize spending so you could have more money to do comfortably, or to utilize comfortably when the time is necessary. But if you notice, we keep an ongoing practice of like going out there to seek money every day. Look, we have to get up every day to go to work, and we are still at age and trying to enjoy life and be free. But at the same time, our responsibilities of life is still attracting us, calling us, making us addicted to all of these spending principles. You just have to just continue to spend and desire to have more money. And in that case, in so doing, you don't get a chance to heal. Because in healing is going to take some time to be in your silent, to be in your meditative, to be in your practices, to listen to things that are going to encourage and enhance that healing. And yeah, so we are trained in a whole bunch of different ways, man, to refuse healing, or to have that discipline to practice the healing processes. So like for me now, since I have recently been going through relationship, because even in a relationship, that's a big thing. All my years growing up, I don't think I think I had a girlfriend once, and she passed, and that really struck me out. You see what I'm saying? So that in terms of relationship, and in family relationship, when you experience death and that kind of stuff too, it will take you hard to, depending on how you are allowed to grieve, and how you take it, your belief system. But I've recently, I had a marvelous divine relationship, I think, a soulmate, and I just couldn't explain or fathom what went wrong. I don't know. And what I realized, that we separated and stopped communicating. I'm like, wow. Yeah, that was something to heal from, because I start developing ways I mean to think that she was wrong, I did something, I messed up, she may have gone, so a whole, people are involved in your relationship, and all kind of stuff that you start to think, and you it's like your intuition was telling you something. So whatever it is, as a divine, recognizing that I'm a divine being, I realize that I too have to go through my test. I too have to see situations that are not aligning with my belief system, and still learn how to accept that, learn how to tolerate that, learn how to, say, hey, guess what? Anytime we are trying to control each other's ideas, ways and means how to live and that kind of stuff, you're working witchcraft. You're actually being manipulative. And anytime you're being manipulative, then yes, you're working something outside of what the other person wants, because the person that is outside there that is allowing you to feel certain type of way, that means you're dependent on them for your feeling, for your happiness. So if that person is not around, you're not going to be happy no more. So what if what in the case of death? Aren't you going to be happy because you have somebody who transition and pass on? No. So it's the same thing in relationships when you have that experience where somebody break up, for whatever reason, discard, avoid, and clear out of the relationship. You too have to heal yourself from that. Are you going to kill that person? Are you going to be mad at the person and have hatred and bitterness in your heart continuously? And it's the same thing in family relationships. That's why the video that I did yesterday towards or for the family is to let them know, because to me, I'm open, I'm vulnerable, I'm open. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that I will just talk about freely. That's me, because that's being your natural self. I like to be natural. Don't want to brag and show off and feel as if, yes, I think that I'm special in the things that I've been doing, practicing, and trying to help. 1111. Hey. earlier, yeah, I just look up and I see 1111. But I think earlier when I started the video, I started at like 1109. So there was a 1111 that came up. And we refer to these things as synchronicities. And in your very own knowledge of your angel numbers, that is referred to as angel number that indicate new beginnings. Yeah, commencement of new beginnings. Yes, so mental illness, a very pervasive thing that is within our society today, because the news media make sure that they feed you the information that is going to keep you mental. And when I say mental, what does it mean to be, mental? It means you have insecurities. Your ego is gone way up, where you still have the belief system that that person has done you something, and so you blame them. Yeah, you're thinking in such a way that you think that certain things are normal when they are not. Taking your energy, giving away your energies outside. For everybody that you come in contact with, you're doing an energy transference. You're receiving or giving. And sometimes you have in a relationship where some people are taking more energy than some. For example, if you're in a relationship and you have to constantly come in and constantly encounter within your relationship somebody who is always sad, dissatisfied, always complaining, that kind of stuff, never happy for whatever reason, for most of the time. I'm not saying that, in between we can experience these emotions. But if, on a daily basis, you're practicing all of these at once, at some point it's going to break, because you realize that this person with the sadness, they're taking your energy. This person that wants you always to do something their way or his or her way, they're taking energy. And so at one point, when you realize that you're not getting through, you're being manipulated, and you're not getting through to do this, the things that's going to uplift you, to energize you, let you move on a higher trajectory, yeah, you will realize that this is not fun. This is not fun after all. And so you're going to make decision to better the self. And in 2026, that was one of the things that I did, to make a decision to be in a space where I am energetically synergized by the people that come around me and the people that I talk to that help to encourage me. So if I'm using any big words, yeah, I remember when I first went to Jamaica, people always say, "Oh, educated boy, man, always I use big words, we don't even understand what I say." So that's why I try to come down to earth. So occasionally, if I utilize a term that you guys are not familiar with, you could tell me. So tone on them words, man, because and then it will give you also a chance for you to go and to look up a word and to learn a word. It's good to learn an additional, or to expand your vocabulary. They say expand your vocabulary. Yes, so healing topic, and I have seen a whole bunch of people, I realize, and even in the best of relationships, you realize that there are people that need healing. Work addiction. I have to get up every day and go to work. And you think that it's because you have the responsibility to pay the bills while you're going to work. But it has become your addiction. And just realize that if you're not doing it, you feel out of place. It's just like if somebody's accustomed to smoking cigarette or drinking some rum or smoking weed, and the minute they don't get that, they're eating food. Food is one of the biggest addiction that people don't even realize that it's a big time addiction. Yes. So what I'm going to try to do on this video, since I can talk about so much, I'm going to see if I could sectionalize, break up these videos in parts, so I can make it part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because a lot of people, if I do our video, they probably will not take the chance to sit and listen to a video for 1 straight hour. But they are addicted to doing their very own thing in their very own time, and you can't blame them. So I am going to try to do this video in 15 to 20 minutes, call it part 1, then I go back and do part 2, and then maybe part 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on what I have left to talk. But today is Monday, the 27th of April, 2026. My advisor wish that we shouldn't timeline video, but I don't care. I'm not doing videos for money. Yeah, money may come, but I'm doing video for help purposes, to give information. At the beginning of the video, I should have even started out by saying this video is for education and information purpose, because when you do that, it tells them people who are in charge of you that yeah, we're not trying to copyright information, we're just doing it for education and information purpose. So that's what we're doing it for. And so yes, healing is going to take time, and you have to decide quickly to do healing on yourself. And it's the whole body, to include your mental, your physical, your spiritual healing. Oh my goodness. A lot of us are very much in need of our spiritual healing, because where we have found ourselves in terms of our belief system, we are very much fearful. Yeah, I remember when I was learning more about my spirituality. I had to forgive myself when I had the thought that I am the embodiment of God. God has given me the opportunity to be alive. So what I'm breathing, I have to be thankful for the air. God is in me. My heart is beating, my lungs is functioning, my endocrine systems and all of these systems within are functioning. The body is growing. That's why you see I grew my ear out and lock it, and the beard, because I was saying God on the inside is allowing these things to show. So instead of trying to groom it and put it together or cut it off, I used to just grow it out and accept the full potential of what God was doing from the inside out. That was part of my healing also. And in doing that, I realized that, you undergo so much criticism. Yeah. So the mental part of your healing is to be able to think in such a positive way where you can help to manipulate the energies around you too. Because we mentioned earlier about the energy transference. If you are an high energy person, once somebody comes into your immediate surrounding, your auric field, and they are not in that high vibratory essence, you're going to feel them. You're going to see them. You're going to feel them. You're going to experience withdrawal from your very own high energy. And I can always give an example of what I experience. And it's not like I want to beat up on the Empress, but I remember once I was home, wherever home was, smoking weed, enjoying myself, listening to music. Empress came home and saw me and was like, "Oh, you're so happy." That must be a false happiness. Is that weed that you're smoking? And I'm like, come on, happiness is happiness. And that dulled my energy right away. I took on the energy from her because she didn't want to see me happy, I guess. Because I think that she probably would enjoy. I said, "Boy, you're happy? What's the formula? Let's do this together and enjoy this happiness." So you have to heal yourself mentally from your sadness, from your distastefulness. And I'm not saying that to my particular experience. I'm saying that to people in general. There are people that I look at in family and they're so bitter. They still hold grudge and resentment and intolerance to what other people do. And they keep harboring. So I guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut you off. I don't have to deal with you because your energy is bad and nasty. And so I can stay right here. And so with that, you have created now a seed within your soul that is hatred. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, because if you can't lovingly look at your cousin, or you can look at your mother, or you can look at your father, or your brothers, or your sister, and say, you know what, man, I don't like your energy, man. I need to step up, man. But anyways, that's you. So I am not going to allow you to come and disturb my peace, because you realize that that person presence in your auric field is going to disturb your peace. So you have to learn to differentiate that kind of healing also. So with that being said, I am going to not terminate, but I'm going to cut this video and call it part 1 of healing, and then I'll post it. Most of my videos then will be on YouTube. I would like you to go over there. We have a channel by the name of Mastermizer 13. I think I have a channel by the name of Cosmic Knowledge. And so you go find me on Mastermizer 13, Cosmic Knowledge. You will like the videos, and you must share the videos, and you must subscribe also, so that we can continue to have this kind of conversation. And again, I am King David with the Cosmic Knowledge and Divine Intelligence that is coming to you here from this wonderful being. So this is part 1 of healing. Let's continue.